Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Oh my God, we got little Dallas Cowboys, and we got Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. Early here, watching what we term as paint drying. Literally, that's what this is, watching the combine. It's like watching paint dry. Let's be real. This is just glorified workouts. But hey, it's something to do on a Saturday afternoon when
Good afternoon, everybody. Here we go. Day 3.
65 degrees outside, where we should be outside walking around, getting some exercise, but we're here. And I'm going to be here with my buddy, Game Time Bryan. And before we get to it, let's take care of my good, we'll get back to Sleeper. We've got all kinds of shit going on with the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to get to my buddy Game Time and get his take on it. Jerry Wayne Jones seeming to be kissing the ass of David Mulligetta, as well as all of the agents, and the Dallas Cowboys having a sense of urgency to do something, and the Dallas Cowboys flipping triggers left and right to get some cash. They're getting that.
Pray for our military personnel. Absolutely. It seems like we're at war again.
All right, so let me get my buddy Game Time in the house. Okay,
Jimbo, thanks. Hit the like. Yeah, hit it now. Make it easy on everybody. Hit that like button now.
That like button.
So what did I miss with the combine? Well, as soon as Mark's available, we'll get him in here.
Let's see.
I know he's doing.
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Running. Literally walked in the door 5 minutes ago, and we are live.
Man. You know, walking. Today is one of those days that we shouldn't be sitting here. It's 65 degrees out here right now. It is sunny. It feels beautiful. Like spring, and it's like, we're in here watching paint dry with the combine.
Yeah,
we're looking at quarterbacks and wide receivers and things that, shouldn't be anything we're really looking at unless they happen to just fall to us like CeeDee Lamb. But, what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. How about you? What's going on with you today?
Well, normal guy says Jeremiah Love ran a 4.3. 4.36. Again, he's an explosive running back. But I'm doing good, Mark. Again, we got a lot of news. Dallas has created a little bit of cap room. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm sure you're on it more than I am.
Yeah. Can I just get the tip?
Fill everybody in.
Just get the tip.
Yeah. Fill everybody in on what happened. And
before I do, my question will be who will be the first Mark Holmes hater in on your channel today? What's the over and under on that?
Probably going to be Eagles Drew, if I had to guess.
Eagles Drew? It won't be
Rob A said it was nothing personal, brother. He loves you. It's just it's a sports hate. What's up, Game Time, Bryan? How are you? What's up, Clay Wise?
I tell you what we need to do. We should have like a side bet in the future that we don't put out there to see who will be the first one to come in to trash Mark Holmes. And we'll give a prize away to whoever had it right, or we'll give a prize.
I got to give stuff away too.
Yeah, I definitely got to do.
I definitely got to give stuff away.
I see prime time, man. I tell you what, it seems like people are getting excited about the draft right now. And thank God we found a place to stay, because I'm looking at places now that are $3,000 a night and up.
Yeah, what we're paying is nothing. It actually went down a little bit. So
more people. Hey, maybe we should get 10 more people.
No, hell no. Hell to the no.
No. We're gonna have a good time there. And I talked to Randy, and Randy is like, he's through the moon. The only thing I worry about is Randy just had another operation like 2 months or so ago. And you remember, there's a lot of walking we're going to end up having to do. So I hope that, or if we need to get a wheelchair, maybe we get a wheelchair. Or a wheel cart. Ooh, maybe that's what I need. I need one of those wheel scooters.
Or maybe we'll get to the front of the line. We'll skip some of the stuff. Hey, Comic Flick Fusion, Dave Thompson. What's up, brother?
Get a handicap. They bet you they have handicap spaces.
Yeah. Tell
We need
you,
to look into that.
it. Look into it.
You know, Randy might be our ace in the hole.
Yeah, he may be our ace in the hole.
I might be in the front row. Okay.
Maybe it'll be somebody else getting lollipops thrown at him, or we'll throw No, I can't say that. I'll be nice.
No,
Dave Thompson is love a smart guy. I can't answer that, but he's a stud. Absolute stud. Would you ever go to the combine, Jimbo? I wouldn't say never. I would never say never, but not my real thing. I don't see going to the combine. There's too many other things to spend my money on.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of like
that might be one of those things that you say I'm going to do once. I'm not sure that going there is the same as going to the Hall of Fame or going to the draft.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I could be. I mean, and you're looking at the stands. I mean, how?
Yeah,
this is quarterbacks.
You can't. You got to be quiet. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I mean are you going to go there with your stopwatch?
Yeah.
Okay. Or is it if you're going to be like Jerry Jones?
You got the
let me get my ruler.
What you got? Oh, wait, we got a winner. Timothy Looper, how are you?
Look at the length on that guy, boy. I tell you what, when he's walking in the locker room, he's just a swinging and he's like the elephant man up in there.
All right, right now we're watching quarterbacks go through it.
Oh, boy.
This guy here, Taylon Green, keep your eye out on him.
Tall.
Taylon Green is, if you're asking me a lower round guy that you take a flyer on, this is him. University of Arkansas. So
he's built
an eye out. Yeah. Just keep an eye out on this kid. You know, the Joneses have
they love Arkansas, man.
Yeah, them Razorbacks. Big guy, Mark, 6'5", 227.
He's long.
Runs at 4.3. Mark, he's an athlete. I said that to Phil last Saturday. Watch out for Taylon Green.
Taylon Green. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. That vertical he's got is 43
What's up, Dan? Inches. Was there any DBs that caught your eye game time and Mark from yesterday's tryouts? Well, you know.
Oh, my God.
There's one. There's one that I want. Obviously, I think Mansour Delane will probably be the pick of 12 if everything goes the way I think it's going to go. If he's off the board, Dylan Thieneman may be the dark horse at 12. Yes, not at 20. Dylan Thieneman, I love. He's, again, ran a 4.3.
Seems like that's where everybody's now pointing and stuff.
Well, but here's the deal. Dallas does not have a formal or informal, but when you measure it up, I'm in a group text.
He might become
he's
one of the
exact
30-day
stature,
visits.
Except a little bit fast. I don't know if he's faster, but he runs a 4.36.
I mean, that's fast.
The Cooper
DeJean.
Fast. So that could be something.
Well, hello,
Vinny
everybody.
Hagan, you know that's my guy.
Isaac, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Make sure everybody hits the like button. So did you, I watched about half of the Jerry Jones on the bus press conference. I got to watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
But that first 15, 20 minutes was all defending the franchise tag
Dan.
And his love for David Mulligetta. Is that the way you felt about that?
Yeah, I think this is already off to a better start.
He literally kissed his ass. You know, I ain't got nothing wrong with, David Mulligetta, he's doing his job and things. And it had nothing to do with David Mulligetta. We had to look at Micah and say he was just going to be too expensive. And when we figured out what we could get for him and things, that we had to make that move and stuff. But, I've actually never met the man and all that, but we look forward to the negotiations. And I've been talking to George Pickens, and George, I can't think of the Dallas Cowboys without George Pickens. And he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy for a long time, and we going to spend some money. We going to get this contract done. I was just like,
I like that.
This was totally different from last year of David Mulligetta. I don't know that agent. Who? He was like Cilio. David Mulligetta, who the hell is David Mulligetta? Yeah. I've never heard of David. I'm not going to make any deals with him. He's not going to be here when Micah fucks up. I'm going to have to deal with Micah. Fuck the agent. That's basically how he was last year. He was the old guy, get off my lawn, you sorry-ass agent.
Ultra's calling you an idiot. Jerry teabagged Mulligetta with the non-exclusive tag.
Not exactly. He bought some more time. If it ends up being that Here's where I'm going to say you're wrong, Ultra, Mr. Tank for Tua. That was you. That was you. How's that looking right now? Tank for Tua. Good thing they didn't listen to your ass. I'm going to say that the fact that they said we're going to try to negotiate, if they had just said we're going to go ahead, hey, we're going to put the franchise tag and he can play on that or he cannot play at all, then I'd say, yeah, he teabagged him. But he said, we're trying to get a long-term contract here. He literally licked the man's ass.
Oh God!
He pulled a Leo here. You want to eat some ass? Let's eat some ass. He's like, David Mulligan, I'm going to eat that.
None.
Okay.
I want no parts of that.
I'm sure that's going to become a video. Probably they're running right now to put that out there. Mark Holmes is such a sick fuck. He's talking. Okay.
You just feed into you feed right into it.
I don't care. You know what? If that makes him happy to be able to act like a 10-year-old, I'm going to go do a video. Then go right ahead, man. Cloud ass mother humper. But seriously, he literally said, to me, I felt like he confessed that I fucked up the Cowboys. He literally in that interview talked about how not having the players here working out has hurt the team. How many times have I said signing players after training camp is the hardest thing to get them up to speed? Half the time, like Clowney wasn't in shape. We hired him, week 3 of the season? He wasn't in anybody's training camp. So when he comes in, he doesn't know dick about anything that we're doing here. He's not in shape. It takes like 3-4 weeks at least to get into game shape to be able to play. You could see the first half of his season where he had, like two sacks or so. He got 6.5 the second half. What if he had been there all off season learning the system, be it a piece of shit one, and in shape to start the season? You can't go through and have CeeDee Lamb not there all of training camp and think that doesn't affect the offense. So, yes, he's 100% right. He has also hamstrung the team. For Everfuss, who sucked anyway, you didn't make his job any easier bringing in, having 3 guys coming back from knee injury that are counted on and getting rid of the best player a week before the season. That's Jerry. That's Jerry fucking up the team. I'm sorry. Did I go on? Did I pull a Momo?
No. I'm listening. I'm just doing my research while you're talking.
Hey, Bryan, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Okay. No.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you?
Well, can I ask you something?
Well, you were just talking about, again, I believe Pickens will be here.
Oh, okay. I know he's going to be here.
That's my opinion. To a long-term deal. I think they get it done. I think they're operating differently. What I wanted to get to, though, is I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Actually, Ultra, it's 33%, okay? 33%. At least get the numbers right there. 33% of the non-Super Bowl years has been with Dak Prescott. I will give you that. But I'm going to say that the Cowboys didn't have back-to-back 12-win seasons, much less 3 of them, with exception of with Dak Prescott. I dare say that most consistent winning that the Cowboys have had in that 30 years has actually been with Dak Prescott as the quarterback. I may be wrong on that, but if you can tell me a time, then by all means, please do. But if you were saying that we suck now because we have Dak Prescott and we were winning big time those other 20 years, I may say maybe the problem is Dak. But since we haven't done shit all 30 of those years, you have to look at the whole system that has been going on, which is Jerry and Stephen Jones fucking shit up. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm in a no-take shit day. You notice that, right?
You are. You're coming out the gate.
I think because it's warm outside, I feel like it's spring, that the sap is running in my system, and I'm feeling feisty. I'm feeling like Jerry Jones, maybe he's not bullshitting us for once. Maybe he's contrite and understands I don't have much time. I need to be serious about trying to fucking win.
Well, again, what did they do today? Again, this morning, what did they do to
They're
create?
starting to flip the trigger. So here's what we got. They're flipping the trigger on Dak Prescott. That's $19 million. I'm sorry, 30, 30,
Right.
$30.9 million. You like that?
Just one player.
Okay.
Yep,
All right. So then we got CeeDee Lamb. That's $19 million. You like that?
I do.
Then we got Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith
Again,
is, I believe, $18 million. You like that?
I do.
Okay, so now here's where it gets interesting because you acted now, we got more for you. They have determined that Kenny Clark is very, very valuable to this team and this organization as the one technique guy. His contract, Kenny Clark, has zero guaranteed money. It's a cap number of $21.5 million. And they talked about reworking the contract. Now, they could. And I say, I don't know where we're going with the restructure or rework, if that means it's going to be a new contract. But his cap number is not going to be $21 million.
They did that now prior to negotiation, but they are on record as saying they want to extend him out, which would then move all of it.
Yeah,
but
so
for now, you have to get under the cap.
Exactly. They'll be under the cap with just the moves that they just made. They're under the cap now, even with George Pickens. Now, they also said that they're going to do something with Quentin Williams. Now, Quentin Williams only has $5 million that's guaranteed money left on his contract. You could restructure it and get $14.5 million, but I think they're looking at saying, let's get a new deal and we'll get it even lower. Now, they said rework Osadigbo's contract, which didn't make sense to me because his deal is only a $20 million hit, and you could restructure and get $12 million off. So redoing his contract is not flipping the trigger. That's writing a new contract. So that one didn't make sense. And maybe, Jerry just kind of misspoke on it. But all of those things right there will probably net you another $30 million or as much as 60, depending on how they do them. What they do with it. So you're going to get more money on that. And that's before they do anything. And here's where it got to be interesting is they didn't talk about restructuring Terrence Steele or Deron Bland. And typically you don't do a restructure on somebody if you're worried about them being here short term.
Right.
Because now you're kicking that money down the road and you might decide this is a prove it year. You don't want to take on more. You take that hit. So that's kind of intriguing that they didn't say anything about Terrence Steele because his number is 18. Now, here's where it gets to be really crazy. Do you realize that after flipping the trigger for Dak, CD, and everything else, do you know what the second highest cap hit is after Dak's 41?
What's that?
George Pickens at 27.
Yes. George, so that's good. And if you get him to a long-term deal, that'll disappear.
Well, here's where it's really kind of crazy because everybody will talk about how much Dak Prescott, his contract is hamstrung and everything else. CeeDee Lamb is on the third year of his deal where he was paid second highest at the time. He's only a $19 million hit. 8.5, 13.5, and 19.5. So when you look at paying George Pickens 27 for 1 year, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about George Pickens, whether or not he would be upset. Not that I'd be upset if somebody said, we're going to pay you $27 million. But I started thinking about George Pickens from the standpoint of like Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins gambling on themselves.
Yeah.
If he stays, you see how everybody's excited about George Pickens after one good year. What would it be like if he repeated this season?
But this is and for George Pickens, I get it. For the Dallas Cowboys, you better do a deal now. This is what they always do. Real quick, Bobby Schmurder with Super Chat. Getting mad. It's not going to help Dak in December, says Bobby. Ultra says only $10 million in cap space right now. They need to get the approval from Quentin and Kenny's representatives to add void years. It's up to them.
Yeah.
I guess with a new deal.
Or from a new contract.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now here's where if you are Kenny Clark, you think he'd say no? You think that, he's already stated, like George Pickens, that they like being here and want to be here about building stuff. Of course, they're going to look. I mean, it's not taking any money out of my pocket. Now, I would rather go ahead and get a new contract. And the thought would be, instead of him being a $20 million a year guy, that the Cowboys would offer him somewhere like 14 or 15 million on a longer term deal.
I think the deal gets done.
I think that gets done too.
I think it helps both sides. Again, this is where Stephen Jones, if you watch real quick, Bobby Schmurder, Dak needs to give money back to Jerry to help. Well, he gave back already by agreeing to the contract that had these automatic switches, right, Mark? That's basically how he.
Basically, yeah, because
I don't know if they can deny those switches,
because
but it's part
I get
of the
it. Jalen Hurts' contract is about $7 million less than Dak. I get it, but the Cowboys' problems are bigger than $7 million.
Yeah,
a year.
This is true.
And the reality is if you take the triggers that have been put in on Dak's contract. When they put him in, his numbers from Jalen Hurts aren't much different. We're talking about a few $1 million here and there.
What's up, Marcus?
His number for Dak this year.
What's up, Dan? How you doing?
Even when he was
paid,
$40 million a year, his cap numbers were
here's the deal, Bobby.
19, and 23.
I mean, Bobby says, yeah, but Jalen won a Super Bowl. Did Jalen win a Super Bowl, or did the Eagles win a Super Bowl? Without
we had
without the
teams.
dominating offensive line, Bobby, I'm not trying to take away from Jalen. I'm really not. But without a dominant defense who probably should have got the MVP, this doesn't happen. So I get what you're saying, but I think you would admit it takes a team. That's
Donald Trump is losing it as American.
That's besides the point of Dak's playoff woes. I get it. I know. I get the narrative. But anyway, so my thing is this. This is what Dallas makes a mistake, is not signing players. Everybody seems to bet on themselves in Dallas and wins. But Stephen Jones made a comment in his interview. He said, we have acted in error and not, getting some of these contracts done sooner.
Yeah.
Right? And we've been talking about that for quite some time.
And in Ultra, you could say, well, it's Dak's fault. No, again, it's not his fault that they decided they weren't going to pay him after 3 years when he was literally only $680,000 a year. If you were going to sit here and say they couldn't do anything, then why the hell didn't they do anything for the first 4 years when he was dirt cheap? When you were paying the backup quarterback more money than you were your starter. They didn't do shit there. And had they gotten that contract done after year 3 and not franchise tagged him, we would have been in the cycle a lot sooner. We wouldn't be anywhere near $60 million. It wasn't Dak Prescott who decided to franchise tag himself twice. That's the Cowboys' miscalculation.
Yeah, Dave Thompson's right, Mark. He says, it triggers and flipping switches. The player gets more cash up front to spread the cap dollars. Why would a player not want that? Yeah, again, he's not talking about flipping triggers and flipping switches. We're talking adding void years. Again, that would be a new contract if you're doing that.
Yeah.
That you're not going to add void years to an expiring contract. Yeah,
it would be them making a new contract with them.
Now, we are watching the Combine, everybody. We got a little bit of a late start. Please tell me, how did Ty Simpson look? Did quarterbacks throw or not yet? Probably not yet. They're probably waiting for a little bit later for that.
Yeah, they're probably giving him a rest because quarterbacks can't get stressed out.
We need Ty Simpson to kill it today. We need Ty Simpson to kill it to possibly move ahead of Dallas as far as being a draftable prospect, or as a possible trade down if somebody wants to use us to move up and get ahead of Pittsburgh for Ty Simpson. So but yes, that's all. I want Pickens on long-term contract, but they should not break the bank. Marcus, I think it'll be cheaper than what people think. How's that? But it'll still be CD. He's getting what CD's getting. I don't see a world where he makes less than CD.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and maybe it's controversial, or maybe it's not. I would rather. Now you tell me which is a better one. I would rather take a chance of paying good money to a guy who had a 1,400-yard season, who's 25 years old, healthy, and says, I want to be here.
Right.
I would rather do that than going through and giving a $55 million contract to a guy who just tore his ACL like we did with Michael Gallup, who was coming off of 3 years of down play.
Yeah.
Okay? So mind you, I want you to understand that Michael Gallup, we were still paying last year $8.5 million to Michael Gallup. We were paying $4 million last year to Brandon Cooks, who was another failed one. We spent a 4th-round draft pick for Jonathan Mingo Dingo, who can't get out on the field. We spent a 3rd-round draft pick for Jalen Tolbert. So when all of you keep talking about how much money it costs, how much time do we spend trying to coach those guys up? How much money did we spend wasting on those guys trying to get a 2nd-round pick? You got George Pickens, he's healthy. He's motivated. He's right here. He won't cost you draft picks. All you got to do is pay the guy. We spent all that trying to find George Pickens.
Football fanatic. There you go, brother.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I hear exactly what you're saying. I do. I definitely hear what you're saying. I'm watching Vertical Jobs. This is hysterical.
What's that?
No, just watching. Just like the combine is funny.
I'm at ads right now.
Yeah. Well, I have it on like one of my things. I have a little box that has it live. Bills need wide receiver help, but they can have cap issues. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's saying Bills. I don't know if they could fit him. Would extending Quinn and Williams get more cap space? 100%,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you extended him, depending on the contract, you'd go from probably a $21 million cap hit to probably, I mean, think about it. I'm not sure how much he would get, but let's take CD's contract, who got $34 million a year, $8.5 million the first year, $13.5 the second year. Right now, Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams are both $21 million hits. If you just do those two right there, you're talking about $25 million. But I still say the low-hanging fruit is getting George Pickens done.
Dave Thompson
says they offered 27 to about 8 or 9. Yeah. How is
Dave Thompson said they offered Dak a contract during his 3rd year. He turned it down.
Yeah, but we don't know the details in the contracts either. You know, here's what I will tell you with the Cowboys. You always hear, just like Jerry was with Micah Parsons, we offered him a deal that would make him the highest paid ever. And they said, well, how much is it or how would it break down? He wouldn't give you the details of it. Now, it's easy to kind of it's like this. Let's say Game Time and me have a fight, right? And we're mad at each other. And everybody's going to Mark. Hey, Mark, what happened? I'm going to tell you my side of the story that makes me sound good. Game Time is going to talk about his side of the story that makes him look good. You're not going to exactly say, well, you know what? I egged him on. I told him that, mailmen are just crazy fucks, man, and about ready to go postal.
You're not wrong there, though.
Okay.
That's the issue.
So Jerry Jones is, of course, going to come out and say, well, we offered him a contract. Well, was it a good contract? It might have been a piece of shit contract, but you could say I offered him one. Well, how much was guaranteed? Well, we offered him a contract to make him the highest paid. Well, how much is guaranteed? We offered him a contract. You missing his. We offered him the highest paid ever, but you didn't get the details. So you're getting one side of the situation, kind of like the Brandon Aubrey, where we heard, they offered him a contract of $7.5 million, and he said he's holding out for $10 million. And then we have people coming back saying, well, actually, it was like 6-8. It was before the season, and they actually haven't negotiated. So be careful what you hear and believe.
Yeah, right. This is per Mike Florio. Cowboys will clear plenty of cap room by kicking the can on big contracts.
Which is Eagle-esque.
Which is not even addressing guys that may not be here.
Yeah.
Again, those are the easy ones. Todd Archer of the ESPN, the Cowboys will create $66 million in 2026 cap space by performing an automatic restructure of Dak, CD, and Tyler Smith. Already done.
Bang.
Already done. So again, that's without redoing contracts. Again, realistically, I don't think it'll get to 100 million, but they can free up after this like another 50 mil.
Yeah, I mean, and there's some low hanging fruit because you could go ahead and you could cut some people. And let me pull this up real quick. Cut pre-June 1st. If you decide that we're going to move on from Terrence Steele, pre-June 1st, you save 9.3 million.
Oh, okay.
It's 14 if you make him a post-June 1st. Malik Hooker is another guy. You get $6.8 million.
Yeah, that's right now, everybody. Pre-June 1, 6.8.
If you just cut him right now. Let's see. Who else would be?
Well, you're going to look at Donovan Wilson.
Yeah, I'm trying. Where's Dono at? Hell, you can cut Jonathan Mingo and save 2.
Yeah.
Where's
I don't see
Wilson?
Donovan Wilson.
I don't see him
either.
On there. Maybe they've already.
Is he already? He's already a free agent.
He might be a free agent. So
yeah, he's a free agent already. I forgot. So yeah, I mean, I think that's why I said you're really going to need to extend these players to create a nice amount of room.
Right. If you don't restructure.
Yeah.
Hell, you can save almost 2 by getting rid of Schoonmaker.
Scooney.
I'm not saying that you should, but I'm just saying. But those are 2 of the bigger ones, or the bigger ones would be Hooker and Terrence Steele. But if you decide that you do want to keep Terrence Steele, you could restructure him and cut his number in half too. And what I would say, and it seems like maybe this is the plan, is still looking.
A lot of the numbers, Mark, none of the numbers that have happened are in yet, just to let you know.
George Pickens is.
I'm talking about in over the cap.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, over the cap, they already have Javonte Williams and George Pickens in.
No, but none of the
restructures yet. No, not yet. No, that's not there yet.
Bobby Schmurder, Dak said he doesn't play for money. Remember that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I would. Okay. If I'm out there and having literally my ankle snapped, having my thumb broken and put a pin in it and coming back and playing and shit, okay? Seeing guys like Witten having a lacerated spleen and signing a waiver that if you die on the field, we're not going to hold the Cowboys responsible.
Wow, look at that jump.
You're going to pay me.
He went from a 4.42 to a 4.36. Ooh, that's
good.
Interesting. Ultra, Dan, don't see it with him. They can move on from Jake, Bland, and Steele in 2027. Yeah, and I brought this up. Have they kicked the can down the road for anybody yet? Farm Boy this morning, they created $66 million.
Right.
So they're about $10 million under right now, but again, they could easily get another 40, 50 under. Easy.
Yeah,
Ham off the bone, says Bobby. Hammy off the bone.
They've already talked about 3 of them that they're going to definitely do to get some more. So and reality is they don't have to do anything else right now for the season, with even currently with George Pickens being franchise tag. If you're doing these things and have a sense of urgency to do it now, that says that you're looking to do something in free agency.
Right.
That's what it says. There's no other reason. Typically, the Cowboys literally are on vacation the first week or 2 of free agency. Your draft class is going to be under $10 million to pay them as far as cap hits. So this says we need the money because we are going to be aggressive.
Agreed. And right now, just jotting it down, George Pickens counts for 27.29. If you
second highest
get a deal with him, what are you dropping at to, realistically?
8.5 if I'm getting him CD Lamb's contract.
So let's say $9 million. $9 million. So you're going to save, let's say 28. You're going to save, what's that? Minus
save
9,
about,
$19 million. So that's 19.
That's just a lot of money.
Just that's for one player. 19 mil for Pickens. Okay, let's go to Quinnen Williams. Right now his cap number is 21.6. They are talking about extending him. What's a realistic number that he's gonna count against the cap year 1?
What, George Pickens?
No. We just said we're saving $19 million on Pickens. Quinnen Williams
Williams probably about the same, really. I would think.
So if it's around,
I would think it would
I'm
be
thinking
actually,
around 14, something like that.
No, I think it would actually be lower than that. If you get Quentin Williams,
I'm saying his cap number now is 21.6. If we
I would think
redo
that
his
you
deal,
get
what are we
him
going to?
probably? I would think that he's going to be if let's say 30 million. Is that crazy? I mean, Jalen Phillips are talking about 28.
No, but I'm saying what I'm saying is what's going to be the cap hit year one?
Cap hit's probably going to be about 7.
Okay, let's just go 8 to be funny. So 8 million on Williams, and the last one is Kenny Clark. Okay,
Kenny Clark,
he's
probably
sitting at
about 6.
Okay, so 6 million. So right there, just doing 3 contracts, you save 19 and 14, 19, 20. That's 35. That's 34 million. 19.
And they talk about doing Osa as well.
33 million. $33 million. Osa, they just flipped the Swigger, a trigger, didn't they?
No, they did not. They said they're going to that's where I said it.
Okay,
Maybe
so
they misspoke.
33 million right now, just by doing those 3 contracts, not counting the 10 million that we're already under. So now you're talking about 43 million under now. The draft class is going to cost you 10, so you figure 33 million right now if we just do those 3 deals, which they're on record of saying they're going to do. So now you talk into like what you're going to save. So you could redo Jake Ferguson's deal or flip a switch on him.
You get almost 5.
So, like I said, Malik Hooker, you could save right now. You could save is 6.4 or 6.8. So post June 1, Malik Hooker is the same thing, 6.8 million. So you might see Hooker bye. Maybe Bryan Anger, maybe the punter, maybe. I don't think so though.
But see, if you get a long-term deal, even with him, because their tender is like a tag, it's a hard number. So if you end up getting him a deal that's $10 million a year, it's like Javonte Williams got $8 million a year, for example. His cap number is only 3.9 this year.
They want to know if Bland has any triggers. Well, you could definitely move it, but why? He was a little bit. Again, it's a little sketchy with that one. No, it's still.
Bland does. Here's the thing: is and it's key that they didn't say we're going to flip a trigger on that one. You can restructure his contract.
Omar Cooper
and cut him from $17 million to $6.5. But here's the problem with Deron Bland is Deron Bland going to be healthy? For next year, this year. That's the problem. He might end up being this year like Diggs, and you decide we got to move on.
I don't think so because it's not a knee.
But that plantar fasciitis, though, man, he's been dealing with that for 2 years now.
Well, no, he's got that. He's got that 5th metatarsal that re-broke, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what that is like. From what I understand, the screw that they implanted moved and isn't solid, so they just have to put another screw in. So I'm not saying it sounds good, but it's very workable. It's not a ligament. It's a bone. Bland's contract has 3 void years, but with his foot, I'm not touching it. Yeah, I agree, Ultra.
And the same thing with Terrence Steele, because Terrence Steele, is good. If he were as good a pass blocker as he is with run blocking, you'd say great. But he is literally the exact opposite. He stinks at pass blocking.
Yeah, it's to fix the screw. I had that same surgery. Again, I had a 5th metatarsal. Sometimes the screw works its way loose or bends or fails or whatever. He didn't re-break the bone, but it's very hard. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're about ready to break your foot with every step. So where are you going to get the $100 million if you don't touch Bland's contract? Dan, we already got 66 is what we're telling you. 66 was done today. You have to account that as part of it. 66 million was created today. So you add 66 and 43. You do the math there, Dan. And that's without touching anybody. Again, we were big time over. That's why this George Pickens, it's only 27.2. It's in Dallas' best interest to keep him long term. That's just what it is. Or move on from him. One of the two. The
Holy
least
shit.
favorable is to leave him on that. What was Tyler Smith? So Tyler Smith. Yeah, Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, Osa. You would think they would move on. Is there any chance that we trade Osa? You've heard a lot about Clark and Williams. You haven't heard much about Osa.
Well, they said they were going to rework his contract. That's what they said.
Now, how does he really fit in this new scheme?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's a little bit suspect to me.
Damn, this is crazy for a second here. I'm looking, I get all the trolls, okay? I get Lead Commander who's in here.
What's up, Lead?
Lead Commander, he's talking about pushing stuff into the future and things, and I thought I would try and bitch slap him and stuff and say, yeah, well, your team puts stuff in the future too. To give you an example, the Eagles in 2029, their cap liabilities are $294 million. All right? 97 and Jalen Hurts, 29 and A.J. Brown, 22, Lane Johnson, 35, Jordan Mailata. And it just goes down the line, right? You know what the Commanders' numbers are in that same year? $8.5 million.
Damn.
That's it. They got Laramie Tunsil will be a $3.6 million dead hit. Terry McLaurin will have a cap number of 8.5. That's it. So the Commanders in 29 are only on the chain for $8.5 million versus $294 million for the Eagles.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Is that crazy?
It is.
Wow. So basically nobody's got an extension on that team. Nobody has any kind of job security or extension beyond, a year or two. If I look at my Cowboys, we're only at 80 million at 2029. So we're right now in a lot better shape, which would be Dak Prescott in 29 would be a $10 million dead hit. If he's not on the roster, CeeDee Lamb would be 28 and Tyler Smith would be 10. But that's crazy. So
it is.
When people talk about mortgaging the future, that is the Eagles. Now, that's going to change, of course, with the triggers being flipped, but the Cowboys are a long ways away from what the Eagles are doing. Dirty Sanchez says, I think you hurt his feelings yesterday, and he retracted. Hurt his feelings only giving him 5 minutes. Are we talking about giving Momo 5 minutes?
I gave him actually 10 minutes. Yeah, I actually gave him 10 minutes.
Is he in the chat today?
No, I have no idea game time as well as the Giants cap space is small. They got like 13 million so far, 15 to spend. I had no idea game time as well. The Giants got, they don't have a lot of cap space, but just like what we are doing and just started doing, everybody. What they did this morning was the easy, just absolute in the contract, flip a switch. They haven't even tried.
Contrary to popular belief, because every time Kansas City flips a trigger for Pat Mahomes, everybody says, look at Pat Mahomes. See, he's a team guy, man. He's giving money back, man. Not like whack-ass Dak. And it's like, people, it's a restructure. It's the same thing for Dak and him.
Yeah, Dak can't say no to it. It's part of the contract.
It's to all of them.
Yeah. Ultra says Parker wants to keep Osa. Osa is expected to benefit from the gap and a half principle designed to create a one-on-one pass rushing opportunities. Yeah, I wanted to keep everybody. I just they've been really going overboard on the Quinnen and especially Kenny Clark, because a lot of pundits said, "Well,
it's been recently
Kenny
Clark that they've been really praising."
Well, he's arguably one of the best one techs in. And he has been. He just played too many snaps.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So, plus, I think there's a little bit of stubbornness as the Cowboys. They don't want to let go of Kenny Clark to give the illusion that they maybe didn't get the player that they wanted. They thought they were getting in the Micah trade. There's a lot of that going on too.
Yeah, and while we're talking about paying money,
Momo just restructured his contract, says Ultra.
so instead of getting $1, he's getting 50 cents this year.
Yeah. I thought Love ran a 4.37. Yeah, I saw a 4.3 something. I don't know what it was. I was working. Sorry, everybody.
Got to put the bread on the table, man.
Yeah. So you got the money. So we're locked. I'm locked in. Okay. I'm locked in. I'm the first one, I would imagine.
While we're talking about money, Zach Martin is a $15.5 million cap hit this year after 8.9 last year.
Think about that.
That's a lot of money.
Cowboys, let's see here.
All right, we're getting the wide receivers workout. I guess they're going to save the quarterbacks throwing for later.
I guess.
You want a cheap quarterback. Okay. You want a cheap, good quarterback. There are plenty of cheap quarterbacks out there. We've had some. Cooper Rush. What's his name? Shit. We traded 4th-round pick for him. Bust number 2 in the NFL. We had Andy Dalton. That was a cheap quarterback.
Jerry Jones is at it again.
Andrew says, GP, does he want to play with the Cowboys? He said yes. Now, according to Jerry Jones, he's very excited about returning and didn't seem, if you're going by the Joneses, he didn't seem upset by the Cowboys franchise tagging. And I think we were talking before we got on the show. I was like, Trey Lance, thank you very much, Cowboys fam. I have a tendency to forget people that didn't work out real quick. Maybe it's just I want to forget them. But if you're George Pickens, you can look at it like Kirk Cousins, who, gambled with the franchise tag and is top 5 all time being paid. Right?
Yeah.
You can look at Dak Prescott gambling on himself and getting paid big time. If you're George Pickens, this also gives you the chance to say, as everybody says, well, the Cowboys don't really know about George Pickens. Well, maybe George Pickens doesn't really know about the Cowboys. It might be, I could take $28 million or $27 million right now, and if I decide I want to walk and go someplace else because they're not really about anything, I can. And I'll probably get more money next year. All I got to do is perform like I did last year. If he has another, say, 1,300-yard season and 8 touchdowns and doesn't cause any problems, what do you think he might be worth next year?
Yeah.
It might be $50 million by the way the salary cap moves. See, most people
Game
don't think
time.
about
What's
that
good?
way.
Moret, how are you? You got Moret in the house. What's up, man? He's a developmental linebacker. I can see him falling for us, even though he was a workout warrior. Who we talking about?
Oh, no,
Shea Game Time. I was watching Brian Broaddus and Vach. Oh, Sonny Styles, but I still feel he's a project linebacker. Sonny Styles? He hasn't played linebacker green dot for a long time. He could get washed from plays. Yeah, I said he wasn't perfect yesterday, and people kind of he took offense to it. Well, again, I love him, but he's going to move up.
Those are the people that Momo was talking about yesterday who think that the combine is the be all end all. That what he did, because remember when Clowney, ran what 4.5 or right? No, at the time it was just like blowing what any edge rusher did. And you looked at all of the publications saying he's going to be a perennial all-pro and he's the can't-miss player. You're looking at a guy who never had a 10-sack season. Yeah. Lead Commander, Mr. Holmes, can I get the T-shirt I've been asking you about, sir? Lead Commander, I can't remember what shirt that was. You're Commanders fan, so is it my team is ass? Is that what it was? I can get you one of those. In fact, when Tracy comes back, I'll tell her to make one. I'm a Commander fan. My team's ass. How you doing today, Holly? Film is more important than combine, says Cowboy fan.
It is. I agree with you, man. I would definitely agree with you. Definitely agree with you.
I wanted another point from Jerry Jones that I meant to talk about more than I did. But one of the things that he said when he was talking about more of a sense of urgency now, and I think that this has been the philosophy, and actually when it did, it was just like the clouds had parted and the skies had opened up and the sun came out. He said that, had been looking at players for the long haul as opposed to players that could play right now. And you think about everything they've done in the second round. I think that fits the second round philosophy to a T. When you draft a Jalen Smith, of course, you're not looking for him to be able to be a guy that you can plug in right now. When you think of Damone Clark, when you think of a Randy Gregory, guys that are damaged goods, first round picks, it seems like they know we've got to get a guy right now that's a starter. Mm-hmm. Second round picks are maybe we have a guy we can develop. And down the road, maybe year 2 or 3, he's going to be a stud. It hasn't worked out too good because you can look at, from Sean Lee even, he had a bad knee in college. But he ended up being one of our better second-round picks. You can look at D-Law. You can look at who else in the second round? Well, we had Connor Williams. Connor Williams was actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. But when you start thinking about Randy Gregory or the Boss Man Fats or the Tristan Hills, those were guys that you didn't look at when we drafted them at that point and say, yeah, that's going to be a starter. They were guys that you said they have potential that we've got to develop. And so that may be a totally different philosophy than what we usually have, but we don't have a second round pick, so we won't know.
That's what I wanted to talk about. It came back to me. First, let me get to Farm Boy. How much more cap space do we need? Pickens is already 27.25. We're 10 under. We just did the math, Mark.
That's a good question, Holly. I'll get to that in a second.
If we re-sign Pickens and do new deals for Williams and Clark, we'll save $33 million right there. Mm-hmm. Again, but here's how it works, Farm Boy. Pickens is set for that whole number to hit the cap this year. If we redo a deal, we'll cut that in less than half. Kid Cowboy, somebody will pay for Pickens and give us a first and a second. That's what I wanted to bring up. But first, get to your Hallie Pierce point.
She asks, what happens to Marshawn Nealon's cap number? And I don't have an...
we're on the hook for it.
Okay, so, and here's what it's still on the books right now. Following the tragic death of Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Nealon on 26, his contract status for the salary cap purpose is determined by the standards of NFL rules regarding players' death. Okay, what is the rule? Okay, so according to Over the Cap, Nealon had roughly $4 million in fully guaranteed. The guaranteed portion of the contract will still count against the Cowboys' salary cap. Usually accelerates immediately to the immediate league year. So whatever money was guaranteed still has to be.
Year. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we still see him on the cap, because that was the guaranteed portion of his contract. And the way guarantee money works too, FYI, and one of the reasons maybe Jerry Jones waits to do his contracts until training camp is once you make guaranteed money, that money goes in escrow and the team can never touch it. So hypothetically, if you had all these contracts with all these money that you owe these players and you don't have it set aside, then the players, you go bankrupt, then the players are like, well, where's our money? The NFL's not going to pay that. So you have to put that money in escrow. So that literally leaves your bank account to a separate account to hold it for those players. So that money, once Marshawn Nealon got his first contract, left the Cowboys organization and went into escrow, so it still has to be accounted for. So there's your answer.
Yeah, and like Kid Cowboy was asking, here's how it works. New England or Buffalo could come to Dallas and say, listen, we're going to sign George Pickens, but we're not giving you 2 number ones, but we'll give you a 1 and a 2, a 1 this year and a 2 next year. Okay, that's what they could do. And Dallas could choose to take that. Some people would want that. My thing is, let's say it's a 1 and a 2, right? So who at 31 do you have to have? You know what I mean? And a 2 next year. I don't think it'll be a 1 and a 2 both this year. So there is that possibility where a team says we're signing him to an offer sheet, but we're not giving you the 2 number ones.
Okay, but then here's the flip side of it.
I'm not saying I would do that.
No, but here's
if it's 2 1s, I'm in. Sorry.
Okay, but the flip side of this, like you said, let's say it's a team that ends up being in the Super Bowl and it's the 31st pick.
Right.
Immediately, who's your number 2?
Most likely.
Who's your number 2 wide receiver next year?
You have to go get it. You have to go get it.
Okay, so I'm getting a first round pick, and maybe a second.
You.
What wide receiver am I going to get?
I would look to go to a guy like Alec Pierce. You would have to hit free agency. That's why this all needs to happen. If this is a point mark, if they are signing him, do it now. Stop waiting. And I think they're trying to. If they're not doing it, they need to know now and move on and take the picks, because you want to be able to have access to these free agent wide receivers. There are a few that would come right in and help. Again, it's just my opinion. Alec Pierce out of the Colts, I really like the player. He's tall, he runs great routes, he's got great hands. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but I'm just throwing it out there. If Dallas really might move on, do it now.
Okay.
Yeah, do it. All right, before free agency. I'm not saying I want it, but it's all about
hear me out for a second here. Just hear me out for a second. So, hypothetically, you get rid of George Pickens, and you say, we go out and we get somebody else because we don't want to spend 32, 34 million. Okay, I get that. If we go through last year's free agent class of wide receivers, okay? So, Stephon Diggs agreed to a 3-year deal, $63 million. So 22, what's that? 21 million a year. Would you rather pay more money for George Pickens, who's younger?
Well,
or would you rather pay less money to Stephon Diggs?
But Diggs was in the Super Bowl, and he had a great year. He just couldn't control himself off the field. I agree with you. Okay. I'm not in the market to get rid of him.
Okay, hold on. How about Devontae Adams, who signed for $22 million a year?
He got hurt.
Okay, yes. Right, because he's an older guy, right?
Well,
Cooper Kupp signed for $17 million a year.
He didn't do much this year.
No, he didn't. But that's my point. So when you start looking at the free agent receivers, you're talking about guys that are older, right?
Yeah.
That may be damaged goods.
Give me a Zay Jones and a...
That may not be anywhere close to what George Pickens is now.
Alec Pierce is going to be 26 this year.
Or
Alec Pierce is a stud.
Okay. Would you take him over George Pickens?
No, that's not the question. Like, the question would be, would you take Alec Pierce and 2 number 1s over George Pickens? That's the question, because you would be getting a draft capital or a first and a second. I don't think any team's giving you 2 1s. I think it'd be a first and a second.
Only the Dallas Cowboys are dumb enough to do that.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm throwing it out there what it would be. I mean, Alec Pierce. I mean, he's a tall guy. You know. I'm just saying. You know. You asked me a question. You know, he was drafted in round 2, 53 overall, right around where Pickens was drafted, in the same draft class, I believe. So I'm just saying. He's a free agent.
I hear what you're saying, but you know, there's a lot of receivers that were drafted in the first round. See the Eagles that didn't amount to dick, and there's a lot of receivers that are drafted high that don't amount to dick. How many?
Dak had Cooper,
many of
Dak
them?
And CD and Gallup, one and done. CD and Pickens, it would be different with Dak. Please make it make sense. Kid Cowboy, we had three 12 and 5 without Pickens post, man. Okay, so what's that mean?
Yeah, but how many of them were with Amari Cooper though too?
Kid Cowboy 7-9-1. What more proof do you want? Well, we had a 32nd ranked defense, brother.
People forget about that. The defense doesn't mean anything.
We ended up 1 in the league in offense, 17 in the red zone. That could use improvement. I'm afraid that Pickens could be another Cooper, get down on himself during the game. Glimmerman, what's up, brother?
And CD's not?
Yeah, CD.
CD didn't in the
Whines
playoffs.
like a bitch on the sideline too, like most receivers. Just the way it works.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I want. You guys know I want to extend to Pickens long term. I'm just playing hypothetical.
Okay.
That if they don't, this is why, as a front office guy, you need to have these timetables in your head, and you need to have a plan. I'm sure they have a whiteboard, a off-season whiteboard. Do they not, Mark? I know at work we have a whiteboard. Okay, we have a whiteboard, and we deal with the employees on the whiteboard. We set, we set goals, just like in every organization. That's what you do. Do I love George Pickens and what he did this year? Yes. Do I want to not have him? Not necessarily. But if you're dangling a 1 and a 2 and telling me that we're going to get a free agent wide receiver, I think we could close the gap. I think we could be okay.
Let me ask you this one.
Oh, well, I guess I'm racist now.
Wait. How have the Cowboys been doing at getting receivers recently? I'm just curious.
How have they been doing getting receivers?
Like Jalen Tolbert. How's that one working out?
Jalen Tolbert is not working out.
How's Jonathan Mingo working out?
Well, that was a trade, right?
Yeah, but that was a guy that said, hey, we had a second round grade on him. And, Jonathan Mingo, he's going to do some great things for us.
These free agents are guys that have already played in the league, so you're not like taking a chance on a guy who you don't think can play. That's all. I'm playing hypothetical here. I'm playing the opposite side of what you're saying here.
And I'm trying to play with you too, there, buddy, and I play the other side of the fence. It's kind of like when people say, "Get rid of Dak," because the Cowboys have just been great at finding quarterbacks, haven't they? It seems like the last two quarterbacks they had, they kind of lucked into.
Zay Jones.
They did not draft Dak Prescott saying, this Dak Prescott, we're getting in the fourth round. He's going to be our quarterback for the next 10 years. He's going to be the highest paid one. He's going to have every single Cowboy record. That's not what they did when they drafted Dak Prescott. They looked and they said, we need a camp body. Who's left on the list? Well, there's this kid from Mississippi State. We'll bring him in here. He's sitting behind Jameel Showers. We got that Showers right there and things. And he'll get one snap in OTAs a day, and then he'll be gone, and we won't have to worry about that guy. They didn't draft him for that. They didn't say that Tony Romo, we're going to sign him as an undrafted free agent, and he's going to end up being one of the greatest quarterbacks for our franchise. That didn't happen. That shit worked out. So when you hear him talking about, I want that Johnny Manziel, show me the money, and getting guys.
Quarterbacks are throwing. Look for Ty Simpson. Is he even throwing today?
Look for Ty Simpson. Right now.
Anyway, this is Taylor Green. I know he has accuracy issues, but he's a guy I would take a shot on later.
That looked like a duck right there.
Kid Cowboy, or not
Hayes
Kid
King.
Cowboy. What's up, Vinny? What am I looking for? Dave Thompson at $16 million a year. APY, Dak should make mediocre wide receivers good.
And I will say, Cedric Wilson.
He hasn't done nothing to what he's done in Dallas. Drew Aller, there you
Randall
go.
Cobb.
Where do you draft
Randall
Drew
Cobb?
Aller, Ultra? I loved him last year. Now he's a mess.
Ryan Fenoy?
I would still take Drew Aller. I don't care. I'll make it work. There goes head case Carson Beck. All right, where's Ty Simpson at? I think that's him right there. Or is he not working out? Is Ty Simpson working out?
Not many of them working out. Shit.
Everybody's afraid. They're all doing their pro day.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to take a chance of looking like ass.
What's up, Chris? Do a duck, a mallard. Carson Beck, he's a guy who throws his coaching staff under the bus at the drop of a dime.
Damn. Little Cowboy, where did I see this? I'm guessing the $10 million is included with the three restructures.
I don't know how you can.
They haven't counted it on over the cap. I mean, basically the Cowboys are saying they're going to flip the triggers, and if you do go to over the cap and you hit the downward elbow, or arrow.
Downward dog. Is that what you're doing? You're doing. Oh wait, that's yoga.
Actually, the hinges. That's one of the exercises.
Yes, the downward dog. I knew
Downward
that.
dog
The hinge.
and
That's it.
The cat cow and shit like that. I love it when my wife does the cat cow. Pause.
Carson Beck, look at his forehead. He looks like a little bit of.
Man, he could sell billboard space on that thing.
He looks a little bit like what's his name out of Purdue who played for the Bears. What's his name? He just got arrested. Who am I thinking of? Or was it? Yeah, it was a Purdue or Vanderbilt. Maybe it was Vandy.
I don't know.
Who am I thinking of? Guess Mallard is better than Hurts. INT. Yeah. Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama, the first round quarterback drafted since 1989. That would send shockwaves.
Jalen Daniels.
Ooh, that was behind him. All right, we need to see Ty Simpson.
That was behind.
I guess he's not working out, huh? How the fuck you gonna... Whatever.
Cowboy fan, you can't use that as an excuse for Dak. You know that he's not allowed to have that. Cobb Cook's list goes on Dak's makes guys good. We never have a good running game come playoff time. That's because Dak sucks. That's why our running game is not good.
Haynes.
Kid Cowboy says you want a cheap quarterback. Yes.
Drew all, yeah. Ty Simpson's not doing this drill, or maybe he's not there. Whatever. Drew Aller, sign him up. Let's see where Pro Football
the Cowboys
Focus has
going
it.
for a quarterback late.
They should take one every year. I actually agree with that.
Rodas.
If Nussmeier drops, watch that.
Saw reports that he was throwing.
Oh, I don't. Maybe not to. If he's not throwing now, I don't see it. Let me see here. QB.
Carson Beck is back up.
Ty Simpson 1, Nussmeier 2. So it goes from, obviously outside of Mendoza 1. They got Ty Simpson, PFF around 36. Nussmeier at 83. Carson Beck 97. Cade Klubnik, no thank you. Drew Aller around pick 140. So, let's see here. See something here. $140 is a 5th round pick. So with our 5th round pick, I don't know that we have. That's the problem, but we could take a quarterback. So Ty Simpson's not a very big dude, though. He's 6'2". He's Dak size. A little skinnier.
Nah, your O-line sucks and our running backs get hurt, i.e. Pollard. Like, fans forget how easy those games are actually lost. So easy to just stir. You're right about that. How crazy is it that Javonte Williams' season of 1,200 yards is the best since Zeke Elliott had in 2019? And Javonte Williams recognizes having CD and George Pickens makes his life a hell of a lot easier because it's really hard for teams to put 8 men in the box with that. Game time. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on.
What, the negativity?
I don't understand how I'm not getting a whole lot of negativity. I was actually ready to fight in here and stuff, and
He's ready to roll, everybody.
I'm not getting any. What happened? Did I swell up and scare people or something?
Light him up.
The first night, I mean, I had Rob A in here, jumping on the bandwagon and shit, and Jimbo and things. Everybody was coming at me swinging. Now everybody's being kind of lame today. What's up with this? I don't know that I like this.
No, you don't like it?
I kind of like it when people are coming after the meats. I mean, we've got, Ultra in here actually putting great commentary about some of the prospects and stuff and some of the issues with the Dallas Cowboys. Kid Cowboy, what do you mean I wouldn't read your messages?
Joe,
nobody does anything. You said,
messages.
Kid, I read yours. We want a cheap quarterback. I could have sworn I did. This team has been pathetic. You're right. My apologies, Kid Cowboy. Come back, Kid Cowboy. Come back.
That's good to know for sure. Vinny Hagen.
Cowboy fan says, Mark, I'm not mad at trading George Pickens. I want a defense first team. Well, I want a defense too, but I don't want to make it at the sacrifice of the offense. So Jalen Phillips is the 4th rated prospect. Free agent. With 7.5 sacks. Am I gonna have to say Momo? This free agency class sucks, man. This free agency class is trash. Ain't nobody out there that's a baller. Look, popping a cigarette out there. Holly Pierce says, okay, YouTube is being super sensitive again. What happened?
I guess it's not us, everybody. It's their, like when you go to send a super chat or something, or just a chat, it makes sure that you're not being too. That's weird. They're like censoring everything. It's Google. It's Google.
I'd sign Mike Evans and trade George Pickens for draft picks for the defense. Boy, these guys look young. They look like little babies.
Yes, they do. if anybody sees, like I said, I don't think Ty Simpson. I don't think Ty Simpson is actually doing anything.
Humpty Hump. Watch this. I'm going to say hi, Humpty Hump. I see it. Humpty Hump. Holly. I didn't think Humpty Hump was that bad. Catlin in the house. What's up, Catlin? Not even just draft picks, proven talent like Max Crosby. Because, of course, with Max Crosby, the Raiders are always in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game, right? And that meniscus rebuild, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Well, 2026 is another chance for organization. Everyone feels they're just a few players away. Farm boy, you can't get rid of Pickens for the sake of the defense. We will be back where we started. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't want to take a step back on the offense to help the defense. You just got to go add to it. If you can't find a way to add to a team and add to the pie rather than taking a piece of pie over here. I just made a statement that, Farm Boy, that if we had an offer we can't refuse, we got to act on it. That's all. Sometimes you get an offer that you just can't refuse. You know?
Now, this is where I'm going to play this because this is where I say that Jerry Jones had the awakening of realizing that we can't draft project players like in the second round.
To make it that much better?
Well, that's hoping for too much. That's what I'm trying to avoid, is thinking that it is 2005 and these picks we're going to end up having a defense put together. We've got to use our, we were just talking to the guys upstairs, and we've got to watch out, saying, well, let's maybe get more numbers. That happens if you trade back some. I'm not saying we won't trade back, but that happens when you trade back some. Well, if you say, well, we need numbers, well, don't do that to the extent that you end up with guys that, because they're going to be on the field more than likely. And we can't do that with guys that don't give us a chance. We can't a red shirt second round pick. We don't have a second round pick to begin with, but if we got one, we can't red shirt those guys this year. We've got to go. Answers, that's part of an example of your question. We got to go this year. We got to have it out there. We got to be working it this year. This staff we put together. One thing I like about them is they're straining at the bits. And this old stuff of looking ahead at a career years and years in advance, they're too young for that. They're looking at yesterday and thinking about tomorrow's eternity. I like it.
So you kind of hear them, you know. We need these guys to go right now. And when you draft a guy who's injured, you're looking at it and saying, I might get a better player after he rehabs because we believe in our guys that are great, surgeons and stuff. That is a major shift in philosophy for them. The same thing with actually getting money right now for possibly free agents. Now, we'll see if they actually go out and do any of it. It's one thing to get the cash. It's another thing if you're going to spend it. But, they have been the least spender since 2016 in all of the NFL. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
Anybody impressing you here?
No, I'm upset that I didn't see Ty Simpson. Reese falls to 6. Cowboys offer 12 and 27 in the second round and to move up for Reese. Man, Reese with Christian Parker. Yeah. There's a lot of options. I know some people are anti-move up, but you got to stick to what you believe in. I know Marcus. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I want to Google it. I want to see. The next, the former Crimson Tide a quarterback is set to work out in front of NFL coaches, general managers, and staff members at the league's 2026 Combine. Where is he?
Yeah, he's not there.
Unless he threw earlier. He ain't throwing now.
I thought I saw him up there originally when it started.
Yeah.
And he had there was a pass that I was like, quack. It looked like a duck. You wonder if he had something kind of give on there and decided, I'm shutting it down.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have any news on that? It says 4 hours ago, he threw at the Combine. He's going to let it rip today, Jeremiah said. Ty Simpson injuries. That was 2025. The mailman, what's up, Rhonda? How are you? Draft Delane at 12, says Dan. Not trading for Minka when I can sign Jalen Thompson. You like Jalen Thompson out of Arizona, right, Ultra?
Nope, he slipped. Good recovery.
Huh. Yeah. Well, I guess leaving the Raiders, anything is better. Says Kid Cowboy. Farm Boy, first 2-round picks for a team that's upper 20s and lower 30s would not be worth the switch off. Yeah. Mark, I understand that. Carson Beck. Carson Beck.
He's better than John Beck.
What's up, man? What's up? Just leaving. Yeah, and you may be right, man. I mean, that's what's interesting, Ultra. We don't really know who Christian Parker covets. I'm hoping that what you sent me is true. I'm feeling like it is. I'm feeling like the whole Dylan Thieneman thing is a smokescreen. I just don't think he makes it to 20 after his working out. I just don't. So it might be one of those situations where we get screwed. And how well do they like McNeil Warren? Or is there a safety down the line? Or I guess you like Jalen Thompson. So, yeah, we'll see. Delane at 12, McNeil Warren at 20, or Thieneman at 12, and Terrell 20. I like that. Game Time Channel is booming because they actually talk ball. Thanks, D'Angelo. I try to. I lean on people who know what they're talking about. Getting up at these hours, Mark, is rough. What time did you get up this morning?
Today, about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so when I texted you, you were already still sleeping. Yeah, I was up at 4:45, so it's kind of like, I don't mind getting up, but my body's like shutting down at this point. It's like, yeah, you need a nap, kid.
Yeah, well, we don't have to go too long today.
No, I know. I was hoping to see Ty Simpson, is what I was hoping to see. So it is what it is.
It's crazy this offseason. Am I crazy when I say that I think the offseason is going by fast?
It is. It's already the last day of February.
This
9 days, bro. 9 days.
Bro, this time next Sunday, it'll be legal tampering.
That's what I mean. 9 days. On Monday, right?
Sunday. Sunday starts legal tampering.
I thought it was the 9th.
The 9th is Sunday, isn't it?
No, it's Monday. Monday the 9th is legal tampering. The Game Time is a man. Thanks, Jimbo. Great content, not as a troll trash. No, Ultra, the real a thumper sideline, the sideline. I can't wait to see who we're into, Kid Cowboy. I can't wait to see who we are, who we're going to sign in free agency. Nakobe Dean, not only does it help the Cowboys, it takes away from the Eagles. It just does. He's familiar with the offense. You know, I mean, anytime you can have that sort of insight. If I said we get Nakobe Dean and we get Reed Blankenship, even though you can still draft a safety, you know, Dallas did say that they like.
I was thinking that the 11th was Tuesday.
Yeah, no, the 11th is Wednesday, I believe.
It is.
Okay. Because I took off work for that Monday. I might work a few hours in the morning, but I figured I'll go live around 11 on Monday. Yeah. So I said we could maybe do that if you wanted. Good teams that give up picks, the picks will not be good. Bad teams shouldn't give up multiple picks. Do you guys really think Pickens gets traded? Yeah. KH, I don't. But you never know when a team is going to be stupid. And you need to have a game plan. That's all. But that's my only fear. You got to have a game plan. You got to be able to act at a moment's notice of a team. Racist or not, the whiteboard needs to be used. The whiteboard needs to be used for, okay, if we get this, well, now we are, if I told you you could sign a free agent wide receiver and you could draft, you draft, whoever defensive end you like, Hal, Delane, McNeil Warren, Jacob Rodriguez, if I said you get those four players, You know, it is what it is. I don't think he's going anywhere. Sounds like we're going to be a player in free agency. Vinny, indeed, my man. How much? As much as they want to. I think they're listening to Christian Parker, man. I think they're listening to him.
Can I ask you something, Game Time?
Yes.
Okay. So, Momo said that this free agent class sucks. So, if we're looking at the key wide receivers that would be free agents this year, take out George Pickens, Mike Evans, likely to hit the market looking for a new deal.
Yes, I heard that yesterday.
Okay. He'd be the number one. Number two, Tyreek Hill.
No.
Who has nerve damage.
Yeah, he's rumored to be going back to the
drop
Chiefs, but let's settle down a little bit.
Debo.
I would be in on Debo. I know a lot of people don't like Debo, but as long as he has the baby, I'm down to have Debo. He spits out the kid, I'm down.
Alec Pierce.
That's the guy I like. Out of Cincinnati, he played for the Colts, but he'd probably go back to the Colts.
Wandale Robinson.
Nah, I might. There's not many good receivers, honestly, guys.
Juan Jennings. San Francisco Juan Jennings. Okay.
Yes, Juwan Jennings is a beast, but I don't think he's coming to us. He's going to get too much money, I think.
And Romeo Dobbs. Fathead.
Fathead. You know, I wouldn't mind Romeo Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs gets open.
So how many of those guys would you rather have than George Pickens?
None of them.
Okay. Just checking. Asking for a friend.
But you have to say, if I said Mike Evans and a first and a second round pick.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, we'll see. You never know. You say that's not going to happen, but if George Pickens is that coveted, somebody will easily get the Patriots will give 31 and next year's 2. They will. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Dallas will go for it. I'm just telling you. My question to you stands. Would you do it?
No.
All right. Then there you go. But will they do it?
I'm sitting here thinking that the Cowboys gave up 2 freaking number ones for Joey Galloway. Okay? They did that trying to get a guy like George Pickens. To me, that's his value.
Yeah, but that's why I said, Ultra, if you had another first round pick, you could get him at the end of the first. You know? Kid Cowboy, Postman, what do you think about University of Cincinnati middle linebacker? You got Jake Golday. Oh, he's a beast. I don't know if that's who you're talking about. Jake Golday. Yeah, he's the big white dude, 6'4", 240, who thumps you. I just don't know. I'm not sure, He's a big boy, that's for sure. They seem to like the smaller, more athletic edge rushers, and that's why I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with what's his name, Keldrick Falk, the edge rusher out of Auburn. If Dallas would even think about it. Who knows, right?
Right. Who knows?
Who knows? Love Rodriguez. Me too, Vinny. Quality over quantity, says Ultra.
Carson Beck. Nice deed.
You can't pick again until day 3. Dan, I know. Jake Golday. I like him. Kid Cowboy.
But they could package some of those late round picks and move up.
Yeah, but how much you really going to move up,
Into day 2.
Maybe you get a 4th. Maybe. It's possible. Or reach in the next year. But again, I wouldn't want to reach too much in the next year. Did anybody hear what's up with Ty Simpson? I don't have my volume up. Mark's anti-second round pick. So I kind of agree with Mark. I'm afraid of the second round pick. But unless it's a linebacker, I'm good with it. You know, Sean Lee, listen, you can't blame. Dallas took a flyer. Even as a matter of fact, Jerry Jones made a comment, everybody, on the bus about, and Jerry made a comment about red shirt and guys. He already came out and said this year, meaning he ain't drafting a guy who's not ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
Little Dallas Cowboy, what up? You and Nick Eatman sound alike. Yeah, somebody, you know who told me that? Little Dallas Cowboy? DMV told me that years ago. I'm like, Ty Simpson just did the measurements, I believe. Oh, thanks, Comic Flick. So what happened? Stick and pick. I like that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on. I'm looking up. I
really want Dylan Thieneman, so I'm worried about 20. I don't think he makes it to us. Man, it's just amazing. You know, Eagles try and trade up multiple times to get Kenyon Mitchell, only to have Mitchell fall to them. Where did they get Mitchell? Jimbo, 23. We don't have shit happen to us. The last time something good happened was CeeDee Lamb at 17, right? Mm-hmm. That's probably the last. And then in the same draft, what's his name in the second round?
You know, everywhere you look, everybody said that he was going to be throwing at the combine.
Yeah, he's not throwing. That's Zion Young. Yeah, Zion Young, that's another interesting name, Dan. Zion Young, edge rusher out of Missouri.
The Steelers seem to really like him right now.
That's what I'm saying, Mark. That 20th pick, you know, if we get blown up, you know, you might drop down a little bit to get that second round pick. That's why I was saying you got two teams that are going to be in the market for a quarterback, all right?
Yeah.
Two teams. You got the Rams who hold, the 29th and a pick in the third round.
Right.
Or Jets have 2 second-round picks. So you could drop down and get their
sleeping.
2-2s.
Where their coach is sleeping in the combine.
Well, you know, maybe the deal's done. Alabama Ty Simpson had to regain 25 pounds ahead of the combine due to a severe case of gastritis. He was elite before his sickness. Nice. Jesus. Easy at 44 was the draft gods. I'm curious to see that, Ultra, how he's going to how Easy is going to fit in Parker's system. He seems to love the idea, meaning Easy and Christian Parker. Rams love Ty Simpson. If the Steelers want him, they have to move. Well, they could move to us at 20, right?
Yeah.
If he's on the board at 20, Ty Simpson, now we got a bidding war to get ahead of the Steelers. That's the thing. So I was thinking more along that line. But yeah, if I was hoping Ty Simpson would work out and be in the conversation at 12. But you got to make, you know, I don't think there's not going to be a player that we like at 12. That's the thing. But we'll see, man. It's tough. Rams are going to take Ty at 13. Oh, okay, I got you. You think they'll take him at 13? They have 2 first-round picks, right? They got 13 and 29. I think it's 13 and 20. Yes, 13 and 29. So, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you would have to be willing to give up 12. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to give up 12, you would have to drop. All right. So what would be what would you get from the Rams to move up one spot? How about that? We drop from 12 to 13 with the Rams, and Rams have to throw us something. You know?
I'm trying to remember what the Bears gave up when they moved up.
Let me look at the Rams.
Let's see.
Rams. Okay, the Rams have 13, 29, 61. So if you're telling me we get 61, or would it be 93? That is the question. Overpay big time would be because let me see the difference in the difference between 12 and 13. The 12 is worth 1,200. 13 is 1,150. So that's a 50-point difference. You're going to overpay. So, but it would have to be 93. Dallas would get 93.
Okay, you remember when the Bears moved up to get Mitch Trubisky?
Yes.
One spot. So they took their first round pick, their number 67 and 111 to move up one spot.
Wow. So you can't look at the trade chart. So definite overpay.
That was definitely
happy with
overpay.
61. I'll be okay with 61.
Now again, that was
Because the Rams have 29 and 93. So the Rams could afford to give up 61. They're not going to give both of their first, but I'll take 61. That's a bottom of the second round.
Man, that was crazy.
For one spot, knowing that they're taking a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Knowing that they're taking a quarterback, you still get the guy that you're going to get anyway. And then I'm on the clock again saying, all right, who's next? I don't know that there would be anybody at that point. That's the interesting thing. Me, a second-round pick, quarterback tax, football fanatic. Little Dallas Cowboys. Adam Schefty. We need starters. Do we go best player? Is there no linebacker but guaranteed guard you could get? So you want a guard, huh?
A guard.
QB,
They love their interior.
Guard. He's a guard. Luke Altmaier. Again. Ty Simpson's a no-show. I'm sorry.
After all of the hype.
Well, unless he hurt himself, I understand it. Whatever.
No, a lot of people said that, he really only stands to lose throwing here at the combine.
You think?
That's what Matt Hasselbeck was.
I was just getting greedy as a Cowboy fan just to pump up his value. Come out here and throw darts all over. Jackson Dart did it. Jackson Dart did it last year, Mark. Jackson Dart absolutely came out and improved his stock at the combine, even against Momo's wishes. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan love pocket passers. Kyle. Isn't that funny that the Kyle Shanahan said he's going to do everything he can to retain the Alabama quarterback, the backup.
Okay.
Just
if you
food
are
for thought.
Brock Purdy, that should scare you.
Well, again, he really wants.
How they are
what's
with
his name?
backup
That was
quarterbacks.
drafted by the Patriots. I'm sorry, guys. I'm dragging here. That's why I'm reading. I'm trying to stay awake. Sean McVay and yeah, I agree with that. So we shall see, everybody. We shall see. Don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, me and Primetime Phil will be live.
It's a prime time.
He got his plane ticket, so he's locked in. He's just going to need he said, give him a couple weeks, and then he'll take care of you. Mac Jones, bang, mouse.
How bad that plane ticket is right now to get in there.
Well, he's flying into Philly. I'm picking him up.
Flying to
Philly.
Okay, that's wise. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to pick him in Philly. I would just say, have Randy fly into Pittsburgh, and he can either take an Uber to the house.
Actually, I talked to him, and that's exactly what he was saying. He was actually going to fly in on Tuesday and stay someplace Tuesday, and then Uber over. I don't know where you're staying on Tuesday, but
thanks, Jimbo. Thanks, brother. Just saying, Ty Simpson's first 6 games were better on tape than Mendoza's. I'm hoping that this value goes through the roof, Ultra. As a Cowboy fan, that only helps us. You need good players to have flexibility in the draft.
Wow.
I'll check later to see the updated page.
This is crazy. Okay,
What's
so I'm glad we did what we did when we did, because I'm just curious. I was curious to see what is a hotel right now in Pittsburgh. So Drury Inn and Suites, Pittsburgh Airport. Okay, this is the lowest priced, and it's got 2 stars. It's $384 a night.
Wow. Two stars.
Yeah. And let's see. The Sheraton Pittsburgh is $781 a night. Hilton Garden Inn downtown Pittsburgh is $850 a night.
Jesus.
The Industrial Hotel Pittsburgh is $1,023. That's crazy. Now, see, and here's where it's interesting, because you have 32 NFL cities. Well, actually, not even 32, because you got New York has got 2 and so on. But 32 markets. Pittsburgh is probably one of the smallest. Pittsburgh and Green Bay. Who else would be smaller market than those 2?
Oh.
I mean, Jacksonville is got a lot of people, but it's spread out. Jacksonville is about the flattest place you've ever been in your life. And I tell you what, the funniest thing was, we flew into Gainesville for the Super Bowl that was in Jacksonville in 2004, and we were going past a Shell gas station at night, and the S was burned out. So it was hell. We should have known right then.
You stayed in hell.
We were
Ultra paid. Well, he did it.
This is hell.
I think he did. I think Ultra got his room right after last year's draft. He's got 6 nights downtown for $3,500.
That's still a lot. 6 nights, okay.
But I mean, he did it
the
right
thing with Pittsburgh
after the draft.
Pittsburgh is a city, or an area that's about 300,000. I know it doesn't sound like that's small, but when you think that there's usually like 150,000 people the first night of the draft, that's half of the population of the city. I can say Fairfax County in Northern Virginia is over 2.5 million people. So when you have that many people that descend on a place, there's not a lot of places for people to stay. And that was the problem in Green Bay. People were staying 100 miles away and still paying through the nose to get to Green Bay and having to travel. And the weather was bad. It ended up raining. And one of those nights, a cold rain. So the fact that we're only like 15 minutes from the airport and 15 minutes from downtown, we lucked the fuck out. And to think that it's costing us about $450 a person, you can't get a night in a hotel for that right now. So I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, we're good. We just, we'll have to have a battle royale for the rooms. I told Phil, I said, or Randy, he can have one of the rooms. So
I got my aero bed, man. There's 2 sectional couches there.
I'm getting a young stud on a rookie deal. Yeah, I think that's the best thing we could do. Is
I could sleep in the bathtub.
I think what we need to do is sign in free agency. I think last year was the year of the trade. I think this year might just be sign free agents and draft young players. That's not going to stop you from a little trade down if you need to get a pick.
Well, the only trade somebody's going to it's going to have to be a win for me type trade. Not making a trade just to make a trade for trade's sake. What I mean? It's got to be something that definitely leans towards the Cowboys.
Again, it goes into my thing, Mark, where after a certain amount, after so many guys, and I don't know that number for Dallas, then you're looking at a bunch of players that are very similar. So they're willing to lose out on a few. How that works is you will count the spots in between your next pick and say, okay, we have 9 guys that we're willing to go with, and we're only dropping 6 away. We're going to drop. We're going to get an extra pick, and we're going to get one of our 9 guys. That's it. That's how they're looking at it. I was saying a Caleb Downs. Now, obviously, my question to some of you guys, I don't think Caleb Downs makes it nowhere near us. So who else is it? Styles? It's funny now we're talking Styles. Styles has no shot to make it at 12. None. He's gone.
know,
It's
yeah.
bye-byes.
That's
So-
by definition a workout warrior right there.
Well, I mean, he's a
That's the
great
guy
player
that just-
too. Ultra said he only missed 2 tackles. I take his word for it. I just know that he would have been a great fit. He was mocked to us in every friggin' mock draft, but this is what happens. Momo's wrong. You do get sometimes Momo's right as far as the combine elevates for all the
Don't
wrong
say
reasons.
that. Don't even if it's true. Don't say that he's right. You can't do that.
Sometimes, well, I mean,
You can't
Tony
do that.
Mandarich or who was the guy the Eagles drafted out of Boston College? Who was that guy? Defensive lineman. The Eagles, Boston College, defensive lineman, draft hero, bust.
It's not Philly 500's baby arms, is it?
No. We're going back a little. Mike Mamula.
Oh,
There you
Mike
go.
Mamula, big
Mike
time.
Mamula, yeah. Mike Mamula was a workout warrior, but he didn't have the tape, and he didn't just. I mean, he played well, but Mike Mamula was a workout warrior, and that's it. Jimbo knows. Now Tony Mandarich was just inflated with steroids. Can't blame him.
Oh man, he was supposed to be the can't miss guy that was going to change football offensive linemen.
Brian Bosworth was another roid head, and on Monday Night Football, when Bo Jackson ran him over,
Ran
it was
him
pretty much the
over,
end
yeah.
of his career.
Yeah, but he did have a bit of a Hollywood career.
Yeah, he did, and I did nothing personal, but I don't hate the guys that do that either. I mean, especially if you play baseball,
He
you
was
juice
the
up,
fir-
man. You get
know
that
what, though? He
guaranteed
was
money.
groundbreaking as being the first real marketed player.
Yeah,
You remember the Boz, and all
The
of
Boz,
the stuff that
yes.
went. Yeah, man. He was Jerry Jones before Jerry Jones was.
Vinny, Manila. Trust the tape. John Ross, that receiver that Bengals drafted, broke the 40-yard dash. Comic flick. There was a guy that John Ross was one of them, but there was a guy that the Giants drafted out of the University of Tennessee. Sorry, my mind is more numb than usual. Who am I thinking of, guys? He's actually still on the team. The Giants. Anyway, he just runs fly patterns, and I didn't like him coming out. Jalen Hyatt, is that the name? I think it's Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt, you got to be aware of those guys who just run fly patterns in college, or the 9 route. So yes, I don't know that I'd be doing these backflips. Everybody,
I'm serious. Everybody's
Come on
doing
now.
backflips and shit. And then all of a sudden, doink, oh shit!
hey Mark,
Did you see the poker guy who ended up tearing his ACL celebrating last week?
I did not.
He played poker, he won, and he's jumping around. All of a sudden, oh
Listen.
shit! And they said, "Who said we're not athletes?"
Yeah, could you imagine? Like Ultra said, in 2022, the Giants drafted. They had 2 top 7 picks. Mark.
Oh God! And they
They had
drafted-
they had Thibodeau and Evan Neal, and they missed on both.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
that
missed-
will set you back. I don't know how many years.
Oh man, big
10?
You have
5? 5? More than that. More than 5. I mean, it's maybe 5. I guess now. Where is the Puerto Rican Paul Blart, Jesse? I don't know. He's probably working, Ultra. He's probably sliding around on his. My son had one. What are those hoverboards? He's probably sliding around on one of those Segways.
Giants have had problems their first round picks lately.
He's straw shopping. Jesse and his straw. Come on, he'll be live later, I'm sure, with somebody.
Let's go back. Let's go back 10 years for the Giants.
I got to do a channel member soon. Maybe tomorrow in the morning or something.
I got mine tomorrow at 5.
Yeah. I know.
Think about it. For the last 10 years, Eric Flowers, first round pick, Giants. How'd that work?
The Giants have not been a good drafting football team.
Eli Apple, 2016.
That was
Evan Ingram,
He played better outside of the Giants, but
Well, Saquon was a Super Bowl winner. Okay.
Saquon was a good pick.
Okay. Daniel Jones.
Not lived up to billing.
Dexter Lawrence.
Yes, it is Kid Cowboy.
DeAndre Baker.
Oh, God. I like Dexter Lawrence was a beast.
Okay. Andrew Thomas.
No.
Kadarius Toney.
No, Kadarius Toney. Remember, they moved up. They got
Yeah.
or no, they got screwed.
What? That was the famous
Devontae
Rasheed.
Smith, Micah.
What? Why did we draft a wide receiver? He knew. Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal,
It's been bad, man. If the
Devontae
Giants,
Banks, Malik
Mac
Neighbors.
Jones is the quarterback we need. Kid Cowboy.
Yeah, Abdul Carter, he didn't have a season like everybody thought. Everybody thought he was going to be Micah Parsons 2.0. And Jackson Dart, I think they got something there.
Yeah, I like Jackson Dart.
But you look at that. That's not
I don't know
good.
that he's can't miss, though. I like him. I think Jackson Dart marks the type of quarterback that you need to go out and bring
Support him.
talent around him now.
Yeah.
A running game. Go get me another
offensive
stud
line.
wide receiver. Offensive line. But he's mobile enough to where even if you go out in free agency and just get a couple interior guys, I think you could live with it. Again, I'm telling you, the new NFL, I think having a great center and guard combo
And that's what the
almost
Cowboys
is almost as important as having a stud left tackle. I know everybody wants the left tackle. I get it, but in order to run the football, and normally you have the quarterbacks can at least get rid of the ball. You're seeing it coming. So
and that seems to be the Cowboys' philosophy.
might be
here,
Ultra.
and
He
why
says Dart is too reckless. It might be.
and that may be what they're saying basically why they don't want to move Tyler Smith out to tackle.
Yeah.
We like the interior of that being stout the way it is.
Linda Conyers, welcome to the show, Linda. There will never
Lovely
be a
Linda.
cap hell. The NFL television contract is renewing in 2029 when all these dead cat hits are due. Linda tells you. And I kind of, it's scary, Linda, but I kind of agree with you. And just a case in point, Mark, did you hear where YouTube is looking for 4 additional live games to broadcast? What do you think that's going to do to the
Well,
to
it's
the
definitely
numbers?
and the NFL is definitely happy to go ahead and go to streaming.
But that's just going to bump the cap up again.
Here's the thing. Let's just think about this, okay? I have currently right now Peacock and Paramount TV to watch like 2 games each. I don't watch TV. Listen, I do not. I mean, occasionally I'll watch River Monster if I just want to watch something. My wife,
River Monsters.
I love that. Jeremy Wade.
I
man,
used
and
to
all this
watch
big
it.
fit.
Yeah, I used to
I'll go
watch
back and I'll watch those. I don't watch ESPN unless there's a football game on. But yet I'm paying for these apps, and I think it's $15 or $14.99.
Yeah, I know. You get lulled in.
because they
Oh,
have
it's only
one freaking
$11.99. It's only $15.99. And then you look at them like, holy shit, I'm paying $120 in apps.
Right.
It is what it is.
And so if you are a company, you say it's worth me to pay $500 million for somebody to go ahead and sign up and forget that they've got this freaking app.
Now, have you noticed YouTube TV's getting higher and higher?
Yes,
But I do love YouTube TV though.
hold it. But that's what every crack dealer does.
But
They
don't you
get
know
you
that
high-
I love the
they get you
quad
high for
box.
cheap.
I love it. I just love how they group everything. Like how they handled the Olympics was incredible. I mean, it was just very, very impressive how they do it. Dirty Sanchez, I got a show. It's called Trouser Monster. Dirty Sanchez.
Well, I will say that for me, I love having YouTube TV because, wherever I am, all I got to do is have a Wi-Fi signal and I can watch TV.
Yeah.
The fact that I can sit here at the Red Brick House and have 3 TVs with YouTube TV on, and this isn't even my home market.
Right.
So I'm not paying for Verizon at home and, Verizon here. So I'm
18,
actually
what
saving
were we
money.
paying with our cable bill with all the boxes?
Don't have boxes. That's the other part.
My wife says we were paying, this is not counting the internet. We were paying $310 with cable.
That's yeah.
So we got rid of that. I think it was 80, but then if you wanted the live TV for YouTube, it was like $120. I think it started out as for YouTube TV. So we saved a lot of money. And to Mark's point, you pay $72 for YouTube, $82.99. I thought you had to add something for live, or no? So $82.99 for YouTube we pay. YouTube TV.
Mine's a
so
little bit more because
and
of,
you could take it
HBO.
like when I was in New York with my son, we were watching YouTube TV when we went to the Giants Cowboys game.
Uh-huh.
So it was cool, we were watching it on the way there. He was, I had it on in the car. He was watching the early games on their way to I think it was a Monday night game or whatever the heck it was. So, yeah, I got Amazon, Peacock. We buy Paramount Plus. We buy it's. So I guess when you're all said and done, you're almost back up to that original cable. But I like it better than
not
cable.
even close. Because see, at home in Springfield, I was spending $320 for cable. Now it was the triple play, so we had the house.
Yeah,
internet,
I had the
and
same
phone,
thing. The
right?
internet. Yeah.
But 80 some of it was just the freaking cable boxes. Because we had 8 TVs, we had to have 2 of the DVRs.
Right.
So we got rid of all that. So the cable with the highest Verizon has, and my internet is fast. It's like 100 for there. I've got T-Mobile internet, and I love T-Mobile internet. I can
Spectrum.
literally
There you
upload my morning video that's usually like 25 minutes in about 10 seconds.
YouTube TV doesn't have the Playboy channel. No, but the blue box does. That I bought.
You can get an app for that if you. Is there actually still a Playboy channel?
No, I don't know.
Say, they
I
don't
don't
have a
think so.
magazine
Maybe
anymore,
I don't
do
know.
they?
I don't know. But I got or I don't know. Super Box. I bought one of those Super Boxes. Mark, have you ever heard of those? Well, I'll have to let you know. I got it off of Amazon. A loyal cowboy told me about it like a couple years ago. I finally bought one.
Yeah.
And now I got a bunch of people that I know bought one. Dude, you follow the instructions. You
It's like a hack
download.
box.
It's a box. It's like a black box, but it's better because I got all the NFL games this year, Mark. I didn't have to pay for the NFL ticket.
Wow.
The only bad thing is, it hooks up to one TV. So you would have to get buy more boxes. The box was like $300. But, I already got my money's worth out of it. So you get all the channels. In which world does anyone on this chat that their prices haven't went up for entertainment? Prices always went up based on supply and demand. It will always go up, says Linda.
That's true.
If people
Everything
want
is.
it, if people pay, it'll keep going up. So,
Well, here's the thing. That's the business model for every business out here because now they're putting in kill switches for refrigerators that after 5 years, they automatically are going to die. Mm-hmm. Some of the car makers are now making it so you can't work on your car. That basically when you open up the hood, it's all plastic covered. Mm-hmm. So even if you know how to change the parts have to be, the computer system in them has to actually say it's okay to use that part.
That's
in which
bullshit.
case, you've got to go to the dealership to get this done.
You got to go to Kia or Ford or whatever.
International Harvester started doing that. I mean, John Deere started doing that with their tractors. That you had to basically have John Deere come out with their computer to go ahead and say, yeah, we're working now. So everything is going to, how can we screw the customer and make them have to continue to come back and spend more money? It's just the way it is. Trying to make everybody basically a renter of everything. Here's how bad it's even gotten. This is the craziest shit. It's Toyota and I'm trying to remember one other car manufacturers that you have to have a subscription to use the heated seats in your car.
Really?
Where you actually have to pay like $17 a month to use your heated seats.
Not that.
That's where we're headed, buddy.
Well, I just bought a car. I leased it. And I'll tell you what, I had my Explorer, but I wanted something that was new, that was good on gas, that I could take here and there, but I'm not going to put a lot of miles on it. It's loaded to the gills. And because I leased it, I don't have to worry about losing 30% or Because right now, when you buy a car, let's say you buy $100,000 car, as soon as you drive off the lot, you're $30,000 in a hole because just everything's inflated right now. That's the banks are probably getting ready to they go nuts because they have all these bad loans out there. But so I leased something, and Mark's talking about something. My particular car, I have a remote start on my phone. So in the morning, I could start up my car and warm it up and everything right on an app. But because it's a lease, I don't have to pay any monthly fee. There are some people who have to, like Mark's saying. I don't know that it's $17 a month. It might. I don't think so.
Actually, I'm looking. I looked it up. BMW charges $18 a month for heated seats.
Yeah,
Toyota charges $8 a month for your remote starter.
$8. That's it. That's the number.
I bought the car. What? It doesn't have to. Go.
I'm just telling you, if you lease it, that I have all that free for the life of the lease. So that was why I looked into buying as opposed to leasing. Where can I get a fully loaded Yugo? Probably in Russia. Ultra, good luck. Das Vidanya. Haven't even tried the Super Box yet, but it sounds legit. Jimbo, I'll send you pictures of it. I forget we have it because my buddy bought 2 of them. But now that it was just for the NFL ticket alone on Sundays, man. It's got over 2,000 channels. It's got too many channels. But
yeah, I hear you.
I did not lease a Pinto. I did not.
And quite frankly,
party on, Wayne.
Having the Sunday ticket is not worth. I mean, listen, all I want to see is the Cowboys. Cowboys are on almost every channel.
They are.
For about, maybe 4 games they're not on. That's the only reason why I have Sunday ticket. Literally for 4
I hear you. Kid Cowboy 66. That Super Box sounds cool. 400 at Walmart. Oh, they have them at Walmart? That's incredible if they're selling them at Pacer. That's it, baby. I got mine for 2 something, but I think they're slowly going up. But it's definitely worth it. I was watching. You can go watch like CBS Dallas live, so you get all the local Dallas Cowboys shows from CBS. So it's kind of cool. Taylor Green, you watch. He's the guy I said the other day, and now everybody loves him.
They do have the Super Box at Walmart.
Yeah, but like I said, I can get
Super Box $3.99.
Yeah, it's a little pricey.
And then they have. Let's see. That's the F.
Yeah, I bought it through Amazon, Little Dallas Cowboy. That's where I got mine from. They have even gone up there
at $2.99. Oh, and mind you, this is nothing to do with football or anything like that. But let me give you guys a little bit of a warning here too. You may look up something on your phone or internet and stuff. And
HD,
see a price.
Brother. Not all channels. You got to look at the channel, Jimbo.
You'll see the price and say, "Hey, I'm going to go there and get this." So I saw a DeWalt drill set at Ace Hardware. It said Ace Hardware in stock, $159. I was like, great, because I got my Ace rewards. I can get another $50 off of that and stuff. I go there in the store and they ring it up. It comes up $189. And I said, wait a minute. I said, it says $159. And they said, oh, well, that's just an online price. I said, it's here on the app. On it says pick up in 15 minutes.
So I'll buy it and I'll be right back.
And that's not the first time. So a lot of times you'll see a price that's advertised, and I've had that happen at Walmart where we were getting the sticks for the TV and things, and the price comes up different at the store than what it's actually advertised online, and they're hoping that you just miss it. If you call them on it, they'll say, "Oh yeah, we have to give you that price." So just be careful make sure that price adds up, because a lot of times there's a lot of things that you'll see the price in the store will ring up separately. Some companies make a practice of that's pretty much half of the shit they have in their stores. Just saying, I'm not. No.
That's crazy though.
You don't want to get ripped off. I'll make a trip specially to get something at that price. And I go there and, you can't get that there, or we don't have that. It's like, but it says it's.
Yeah, Dan, we created $66 million today, brother.
Woo.
But you remember we were 50 in the hole. but we still. What they're going to do now, guys, is they are going to create money as they need it. You can expect Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark to get new deals.
Yeah.
George Pickens, that would help this year, but they don't have to do it. But that would help.
They should do it. They should do
They
it.
should do it because
they should do
of
it
what
and
Mark
take that
said.
$19 million and get some players. That $19 million, I tell you what that $19 million would be able to do. That would be getting DeMario Davis and getting maybe from Miami edge rushers. Fuck.
Now,
I'm saying that's two players. Two legitimate players for $19
Bradley
million.
Chubb.
Bradley Chubb, yes. That's what you can do with getting George Pickens restructured. A long-term deal. Broken Halo says, Toyota subscription for using in-car GPS touchscreen warming alerts and tire pressure is $58 a month. That's freaking ridiculous.
You don't have to pay for it.
They're just raping us, man.
Little Cowboy says we were over 64 million. Now we were over what 56 million, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't 64, Little Cowboy. It was
56.
It was 56, and we created 66. So that's a net of 10, and that's just literally the bare minimum. So if you count the draft pick, we're even right now because you figured the draft class is around 10 mil.
Yep. So the other money you will create with Quentin Williams.
Let me ask you this:
is spending money.
Like, I don't think he's going anywhere either. But Brandon Aubrey, what could possibly happen there? Here they go. They're talking about Ty Simpson now.
Okay.
What are they saying? Oh, it says he decided not to throw.
Yeah, I guess so.
Whatever. Hanging around the rim and kick the can on a terrible team, little Dallas Cowboys. It's a bad idea. I say Dean over Davis. How about both? You figured Maris Leofau. I mean, in this system, how many linebackers do you really need, Ultra, Mark? How many do they really need? How many do you want?
How many do I want what?
The linebackers in this scheme, Mike, because you don't need too many real big edge rushers. You need
technically 4 starters because it's a 4 linebackers here. Okay, your linebackers really are edge rushers, so you're looking for a Charles Haley type.
Right.
Guys that can stand up and rush the passer. So you need them. Now, you've got some guys on here that you are moving around. I still say you're going to need to draft one and sign one.
What would you guys think if I said, like, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Mark, like Kyle Van Noy. Mm-hmm. He's 35 years old. But Kyle Van Noy fits that to a T as far as an edge rusher that would, again, who could stand up. And that's a guy that with the Ravens, you might want to think about looking into.
I think there's maybe
there's guys we're not thinking of, is what I mean.
The only problem may be because, like Momo was saying, that this free agency class stinks. Is teams that are desperate are going to pay more because there's not many guys to go after.
Yeah.
Let's see. Free agent wide receivers. I'm sorry.
Edge rushers.
Edge rushers. That's why you look at Jalen Phillips and say, they're talking about him being the 4th, best.
I'm not doing that.
Trey Henderson is not really an outside linebacker.
I forgot about him. Yeah.
He's more of a defensive tackle or traditional edge rusher. Jalen Phillips, Khalil Mack. Oh, he's getting up there. Joey Bosa. Boy Mafe.
Mafe, yeah.
Okay. Clowney, of course, our guy, who we're not sure he fits. DeMontre Jones. Yeah, there's not a lot. So what's going to happen is those guys are going to pick up big money just because there's not many of them, supply and demand. Let's look at linebackers.
What would you do how about Hassan Reddick? I know his numbers have been going down, but I think he would fit in this scheme.
Possibly. Okay, so linebackers wise, traditional linebackers, Bobby Wagner, Logan Wilson, Levante David, Demario Davis. They're projecting him at a $9 million market value. I'd take that in a heartbeat. Kenneth Murray.
Yeah. Simpsons throwing next, says Vinny Hagan. Very cool.
Matt,
we get to watch it.
Milio, Quincy Williams. I'd take Quincy. Quincy's market value is at 9.1. Alex Singleton, EJ Speed.
Alex Singleton is a guy that's worked with Christian Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know. I think he would rather have a Nakobe Dean than Alex Singleton, and I guess I would too. Younger, right? Yeah. So it's going to cost you more, that's for sure. All right, here we go. Ty Simpson's getting ready to work out here.
Is it?
Finally.
Okay.
Yep.
It's about damn time.
Per Vinny Hagan. Per Vinny. If not, he lives in Manahawkin, New Jersey. No, I'm just joking. Dan Evans is a big catch radius. Dan has a big catch radius. Evans. We say 40 a year, kid Cowboy. I would take Boye Mafe. He played with Fangio in Miami in a 3-4. That's a good call, Dave. Dave Thompson. You think Bobby Wagner gets 7?
That's possible.
Maybe a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah. It seems like he's been getting short contracts for the last 5 years.
Here we go.
Ty Simpson there on the sidelines.
The effective cap space is over the cap right now is $64 million because it includes draft class cost. Yeah, that's what it is, but they're not taking into effect all the switches we flipped this morning. So. Yeah, so we good. Again, they can create another 50 if they want. So stay tuned.
And understand when you say we're paying a guy $30 million a year, it's not a $30 million cap hit.
Right.
That's, that's the thing that people don't seem to understand. And, and it's crazy because a lot of times you listen to the talking heads. It's like, I don't think that they understand how these things work because they're like, oh, well, George Pickens at $28 million on a franchise tag. That's a good deal for the Cowboys. It's like, wait a minute. You can get him for a long-term deal for 8 and have 20 more. So how are you saying that this is a good deal?
Ultra says Crosby has lined up outside of the offensive tackles for over 95% of his career snaps. According to Pro Football Focus, he could play outside linebacker.
Provided his meniscus is okay.
Stop kicking cans, says Kid Cowboy. If we sign Mike Evans, move him to tight end, that's going to be a red zone problem. Clemente. Now you're talking, Clemente. How much would that tight end cost? So we'll see. I think we got a red zone threat. No, I don't think. I think he needs to take a step. Evan Spanford's a big dude, but I don't think he's no Mike Evans.
Yeah.
DeMario, they're saying $9.4 million. I don't know how accurate. Plenty of linebackers. If you want a linebacker,
You're
This is the year to want one. Bobby Wagner, Levant. No, I wouldn't do that. Demario Davis, Matt Milano at a Buffalo, Alex Anzalone at a Detroit, Quincy Williams, Alex Singleton, Quay Walker, Devin Lloyd. It just goes on and on.
Mm-hmm. That's where you've got lots of guys there that you
go get me two of them.
And don't forget Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean. Well, I didn't get that far. Yeah, Nakobe Dean. So if I told you, Mark, and I know people hate when I say this, but let's say they go get Reed Blankenship, Nakobe Dean. Let's say they bring in a corner. Don't have to. It could be the top of the best corner out there, but somebody who Christian Parker likes. Let's say they bring in an edge rusher. Mm-hmm. I don't know who. And then you go draft, and you draft a safety.
Picks.
You draft a linebacker. You drafted it in like another, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you did that, you could take an offensive player. Not that you would want to.
Well, you never know.
Logan Motorsports with breaking news.
Well, let me ask you this one.
Cowboys trade Dak Prescott for Mark Holmes.
Okay.
I think he's a better player, Ultra
at
too.
7.8, and Demario Davis at about a 9.5. Who would you take? If would you take $2 million and save it with Jacoby, or would you go for a Demario?
I'd go with Nakobe Dean, I think. Because you get him on a long-term deal. But just,
Even though he seems to be injured a lot?
What would you do if they pick Love at 12 if he drops? What if Jeremiah Love drops? He ran the second fastest at the running back position, right? Is that what they said? He ran the fastest.
Yeah.
If Jeremiah drops to 12, he will be the highest guy on the board. This is why you got to hit free agency and hit most of your holes. That way you can take a chance.
You can take a chance on a guy like that. Yeah.
It's not a chance. He's a home run guy. Right now, you put him in the backfield with Javonte, shit. Mm-hmm. Just look what they're doing in Detroit.
True.
With Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah, but here's the problem. We had a number one offense last year.
I know, but you can't.
And the worst defense. Okay.
I know, but you can't. This is how you get in trouble.
So much more with that offense.
JJ's gaslighting the fans, little Cowboys. Lemon is a Puka comp. I like Mekhi Lemon, big time. Shoddy loves best player available.
Okay. I'm going to have to end around 5:30.
Yeah. I'm going to roll too, surely. I want to see Simpson, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
St. Brown, I like Amon-Ra. Or JSN. JSN is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
He's a beast. All right, where's he throwing? Let's go. What do you got to cook? What are you cooking?
No, going out to dinner.
Nice. Where are you going? You going to that place?
To the smokehouse, yeah. They're only open 3 days a week. We haven't actually been in a while. So I asked my wife this one. I was like, what do you want for dinner? She's like, how about we go out and eat? It's like, oh, you're tired of my cookies? She's like, no, not at all. But she's like, I want to give you a break. It's like, okay.
So what do you like getting at?
Oh, their prime rib is really good.
Yeah.
And they also have like an all-you-can-eat seafood. Like on Thursday night, it's oysters and shrimp and crab legs.
Mm.
And see, it's like one of the local places that, there's some really fancy top-end places that are in Stanton, including one that is like this supposedly world-renowned chef, and basically there's only like 5 tables that are in there. I mean, they said it's a life-changing experience. It's like, okay, life-changing as in my bank account is now bankrupt.
Right. Yeah.
But this is more of the regular place that's off the beaten path. And the assistant manager, she's actually an Eagle fan, and we always end up talking shit back and forth and all. But really good people. When you find something you like, you stick with it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I've got like my mechanics, you know, the guy who works on my car in Northern Virginia, he's been working on my stuff for 20 years. And I know if he says, look, it's not worth fixing, just start over. You know, if he tells you something, you believe it. You know, he's not going to hose you on stuff. And that is few and far between in this world today. More people are ready to rip your ass off and laugh at you than actually do something good. Alan Williams is going to go hop in the shower. The farm to table place looked quite fascinating.
So, have you heard from any of the guys?
I have heard from Randy. He said he was going to take care of it.
No, I'm talking about the guys that said they wanted to go originally.
Originally, yeah, they all
Eddie?
they all chimed in on the chat.
Did they?
Everybody,
I don't have their numbers.
Everybody waved in there.
Okay.
Let me look at. Let me double check because I reposted the link.
What's up, Asia? How are you? Hope you're doing well today. All right.
Let's see.
Houston would never
I
trade.
see
for
Randy.
a
I'm in. David Wiley, thumbs up. Richard got it. Edwin, thumbs up.
Okay.
And Primetime Phil, whoopee. Okay. The only one who didn't shine back in was Michael.
Yeah, tell him we need his money because we're worried.
Yeah. When Mike gets something on his mind, man, he's like a fucking pit bull. He kind of got screwed when the very first USFL game, he bought tickets for people and it took him forever to pay. He's like, "You get your money. You better pay it." Aisha, I'm sorry,
What's up, Joe DeMasi? Yeah. What's up, brother?
Almost 5 years for Aisha Robinson. Shout out to Aisha Robinson. Love you, honey. Hope you're doing well, girl.
All right.
I think they're teasing you on this.
I don't know. I'm going by what Vinny Hagan said. Well, the arrow is pointing up for the Cowboys, and the Eagles are losing key coaches and players this offseason. Football fanatic.
Philly 500 says everything's fine.
It's good for business.
There's nothing to see here.
I just find it funny how we
they're going to be 13 and 4
have new coaches and we're a long way off. We can't do it. They have new coaches. It's because their roster is so good, right, Linda? Jeremiah Love looking good out there today. Jesus, yes, please.
I'm wondering how many Cowboy fans will be going to the draft with us only having picks in the first round.
I think Cowboys fans show up everywhere, but Pittsburgh's not that for everybody. I mean, you know, I think next year's going to be a mob scene. That'll be interesting.
Oh, indecent, yeah.
Because it's kind of a centralized location, you know. Howie, the gangster GM, he is good. He is good at doing that. Yeah, the quarterback wide receiver workouts are coming up soon. Leo and Drew stuck at the red light with a Chevy Nova full of smoke. Damn, my point is for saying Dak will not get a third contract. Someone will sign. Yeah, he won't get a Well, we'll see. Again, that's a long... 2 years in this league is a long time away. How many years does he have left on his deal? 2 more?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
They're basically out after this year.
That's a long time in the NFL. Dallas, Eagle fans, close your ears. If Dallas wins the Super Bowl, who knows? Dak should not be restructured. No, he wasn't restructured. He wasn't restructured,
Yeah, he's being restructured.
but I mean, he wasn't how may I say? They didn't add any more money.
No, but it got shifted down further.
Yeah, it got shifted further. What you're paying now, as opposed to, I mean, he was never. What was his cap at 60 some or 74, whatever it was.
$74 million.
So Dan Elway was 37 when he won his first ring, Clemente. But did Elway have to deal with the injuries that Dak Prescott have to deal with? Like I said, you guys don't notice what happens to Dak's cap hit in 27 to 28 with restructure this morning, Mark.
They haven't gotten the numbers out on it, but see, there's still 3 voidable years that you can put it into.
Yeah, we got void years after that, little Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, in comparison, if you take Dak Prescott in 29, right now it's only a $9 million hit. So if you're taking $30 million, they could park that over the 3 void years and say in 20, 30, 31, and 32 that they'll take another $9 million each of those years.
Yeah.
So, and still have it out after 27 where, you're just paying. If you ended up paying $10 million each year after he's gone, as opposed to us paying 8.5 last year, 8.9 last year for Zach Martin and 15 this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, with what we're seeing
years
right
crashed
now,
on last year when the contract is over, little Dallas Cowboy says.
Yeah, well, when it's over, you better pray that we get lucky again on quarterback.
Let someone else pay him. Get Cowboy. Romo's back killed him. Yeah, Dan, Romo, it's a shame, but Romo just couldn't stay healthy. He had some serious injuries, too. I mean, not that Dak hasn't, but he had...
He got to the point where it's like every time Tony Romo scrambled,
he farted, he'd blow something.
Like, oh my God, please don't hit him, please don't hit him, please don't hit him.
Sadiq ran faster than McCaffrey. Oh, we went to Super Bowl in year 4 and year 11. Nada. We still got time. They got the line for Romo. Too late, yeah. They're going to have to sign a third contract to place those void years cap hits. Well, you would have one decent cap number, a little Cowboy. Mm-hmm. You would have, like, remember when Eagles had to cut a Carson Wentz? What was that cap hit?
Shit, like 35?
Yeah. You're looking at something like that. But hypothetically, if they got a Joe Burrow, it is what it is. You got to suck it up. I don't think Joe Burrow, they will find Hoffa before Dak wins the Super Bowl. They'll find Jimmy Hoffa.
The worst dead hit ever was Russell Wilson, $85 million for Denver.
$85 million.
And I think Kirk Cousins will beat that.
And Kirk Cousins, what, right now?
They're Atlanta's going to be cutting him.
It's crazy. 2 wild card wins in a decade is not lucky.
Well, in comparison to 4 over 30.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, let me pull him up because I think he's like a $95 million dead hit. He got $100 million for 2 years of being in Atlanta.
It doesn't matter if Dak fanboys keep paying JJ to see their QB. Dak will be there. Yeah, unfortunately, they're not going to stop going to the games or selling tickets. And if they do sell tickets, it'll just be to visiting teams.
Okay.
Well, are we ready to call this or what?
I'm beginning to think they're not going to do it for you.
No, they're probably going to wait. We'll break it down, like what happens to them, you know. Because they're just running.
Oh,
Who the hell care?
Yeah. Actually, I messed up on it. His dead hit is actually $35 million when they released him for this year. But they paid him $100 million for the 2 years he was here. So we're talking about $135 million for Kirk Cousins for like 4,500 yards. I think 26 TDs and 21 interceptions. You want to talk about stealing money? We're getting ready to run 40s again.
Yeah, I could care less about 40s. Well, all right, everybody. I think I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm kind of disappointed, like I said, that I didn't get cussed out today.
Well, it's early yet, man. We'll make sure somebody cusses you out later.
Nobody told me how stupid, delusional, and that I'm swinging from Dak Prescott's nuts. It's kind of
well, that's sad. A given.
I feel like I didn't get any love today.
Well, enjoy your dinner, man. And I guess the next time, we'll have to get together maybe for that Monday.
The Beast, happy birthday, buddy. Can you get a shout out? You certainly get a shout out, The Beast. Hope you had a great birthday. Hope all your birthday dreams came true. They left Mark and started jumping on my nuts. Rhonda says, okay. I didn't know you had nuts there, Rhonda, but okay. All righty. So I'm out of here.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Remember, I'm on Primetime Phil's channel tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to go kick back for a little bit, maybe get a little dinner, and then we'll see you back a little later.